Hello again. For video number 11, we are going to discuss the Torah reading for the second day of Rosh Hashanah. Torah reading typically referred to as Akeidat Yitzchok, the binding of Isaac. The new conservative movement Machzor, High Holiday Prayer Book, in discussing this Torah reading, speaks about the theme of life's fragility running through the entire holiday season. Yesterday, we read about the uncertainty of a woman trying to give birth to a child, both in the Torah reading actually with Sarah and in the Haftarah with Hannah. We read about life's uncertainty with Hagar and Ishmael being banished, the uncertainty concerning Abraham and Sarah's life as a family. Today, we read about a very difficult and controversial chapter in the Torah, and that is the story of Abraham taking Isaac to be sacrificed. Now, from the outset, please understand that the Torah makes it clear that there would be no manner of human sacrifice at all. This was abhorrent to Judaism. The Torah reading at the beginning announces that there is a test of faith taking place here. And the test that God places on Abraham, that he ministers to Abraham, is to determine Abraham's level of faith. Was he devoted only when life was good, or would he cling to his faith when severely challenged? My take: did Abraham have enough faith to take steps toward the sacrifice, knowing full well that God would never order him to do so? Was he willing to travel on that path up the mountain, having complete confidence in God that God would never expect this of him? Well, our faith is tested all the time. Certainly it is tested during COVID-19 in terms of illness, in terms of economic loss. It is easy, or easier, for us to be believers when life is good. But when life sours, that is when our faith is most tested. After the angel's voice commands Abraham to leave Isaac alone, that a human sacrifice was never to take place, Abraham serendipitously finds a ram stuck in the thicket by its thorns. Just like that, a ram appears. Not just a bit of coincidence, you think, or something for which we should be suspicious. Think about it. Ram stuck by its horns. Ram. Horn. Ram's horn. Shofar. The ram was stuck in the thicket by its shofar. And Abraham extricates the ram from this thicket so that in sacrificing the ram instead of his son, the Torah suggests a very strong alternative to violating, dishonoring, or sacrificing human life and all that life entails. Sparing Isaac means an opportunity to take a different path through life. No path leading to death. Abraham and Isaac, I believe, are messengers for this story, or in this story. But the lesson of the Akeidah, the lesson of this binding of Isaac, is for a universal audience. We are to choose the path leading us toward life, not a path leading us toward this kind of death. The path that Abraham took up the mountain was a path that would have led to Isaac's death, but that was never intended. And the Torah takes us through this drama, really to emphasize how horrible this would be were any human sacrifice to take place. And there were traditions where human sacrifice was common, but that would never be the case in Judaism. And as we experience this walk with Abraham and Isaac, we certainly appreciate the horrors of this kind of thing taking place. But let's turn back now briefly to the ram and the ram's horn being stuck. On Rosh Hashanah, we, in a sense, extricate the shofar from its symbolic thickets, from the drawer, from whatever kind of cabinet it has been sitting in for a year. It's been stuck, gathering dust. And like the ram in that thicket, we extricate the shofar from being stuck in its symbolic isolation. And we sound the shofar in a way that enables us to wake ourselves up to the responsibilities that we have for taking a different path. That ram was a way of symbolically telling Abraham and Isaac that there was a different path other than the path to a mountain of sacrifice. The path by which they return will be a path of life. And for us, I would say our responsibility when we hear this shofar is to acknowledge that we too need to take a new path in life, a path which will bring us honor, distinction. So the ultimate question is, how will we extricate that shofar? And hearing the blast on Rosh Hashanah, how will it wake us to the responsibilities we have to lead an ethical life and to continue on the path which brings us joy, honor, and meaning? I wish you again Shana Tova.